A very good morning, everyone. Today we will learn a new poem, The Spider and the Fly, by Mary Bottom Howitt. Mary Howitt was an English poet and author of the famous poem The Spider and the Fly. She was born at Colford, England on March 12, 1799. The Spider and the Fly is a fable that depicts a common human weakness of being easily enticed by flattery. The spider cordially invites the fly into his parlor and promises interesting things to see: a comfortable bed and food to eat. The fly, even being aware of spider's cunning, falls into his trap. So let us begin the poem with its line by line explanation. "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. "'Tis the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many pretty things to show when you are there." "Oh, no, no," said the little fly, "to ask me is in vain. For who goes up your winding stair can never come down again." So the poem begins with a conversation between the anthropomorphic creatures, the spider and the fly. The spider symbolizes artful and crafty men, whereas the fly symbolizes the innocent and foolish people. The spider invites the fly to visit his parlor. Using the exaggeration, he beautifies his den by calling it the prettiest little parlor. He tempts her by saying that the way into his parlor is through a spiral stair, where there are many things worth looking at. He wants her to see all the pretty things his parlor consists of. The fly, comprehending the avaricious motive of the wicked spider, declines the offer, saying that she is aware of the fact that whoever goes his way up his winding stairs never comes down again. "I'm sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring high, so high. With you rest upon my little bed," said the spider to the fly. "There are pretty curtains drawn around. The sheets are fine and thin. And if you like to rest a while, I will snugly tuck you in." "Oh, no, no," said the little fly, "for I have often heard it said, 'They never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed.'" So the spider is here perfectly aware of the impediments that may come if he agrees to fall into the trap of the spider. He asks her to relax on his little bed, and she looks fatigued and is exhausted. He says that his walls are embellished with pretty curtains, and the bed sheets look exquisite and delicate. If she likes to accept this idea, he will pull her inside in a warm and comfortable manner that will give her immense pleasure. However, he fails to captive the fly this time too, as she clearly turns down his evil offer. She says that she has heard that whoever ever sleeps on his bed never sees the dawn again. Said the cunning spider to the fly, "Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I have always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you are very welcome. Will you please to take a slice?" "Oh, no, no," said the little fly. "Kind sir, that cannot be. I have heard what's in your pantry, and I do not wish to see." So here, the fly's repeated resistance troubles the spider, but fails to deviate him from his objective. The cunning spider addresses the fly as dear friend and asks her what she can do to prove his deep fondness for her. Continuing his flattery, he now tempts her by taking about his pantry, where she can get multiple delicacies to test. He exhorts her to taste just a slice in case she is hungry. The delightful things can fully satisfy her hunger. The wise fly readily rejects his offer to his emphatically conveying her dislike and say she is not interested in his pantry. She has no desire to accept this invitation or take the slice offered to her. She has already heard what is there in his pantry, so the spider's inexorable insistence has little effect on her. Ironically, the fly, despite being witty and wise, falls prey to his flattery in the end. So, let us see. "Sweet creature," said the spider, "you are witty and you are wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings! How brilliant are your eyes! I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf. If you will step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself." "I thank you, gentle sir," she said, "for what you are pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now, I will call another day." So the spiders showers intense praises on the fly, addressing her with sweet-coated words. He calls her a sweet creature and appreciates her intelligence and wisdom. He praises her gossamer-like wings, fine and delicate and shining sparkling eyes. He asks her to step inside the parlor and admires her own beauty, enigmatic charm in the little looking glass. She can step inside for one moment and behold herself in the little mirror. However, refusing to be enticed and allured, she bids her good morning and departs. She promises to visit his parlor some other day and advances forward. The spider turned him round about and went into his den, for well she knew the silly fly would soon be back again. So he wove a subtle web in a little corner sly, and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. Then he came out to his door again, and merrily did sing, Come hither, hither, pretty fly, with the pearl and silver wing. Your robes are green and purple, there's a crest upon your head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. See, now the spider does not want to worry about the initial departure of the fly. He maintains a calm composure and gets back into his den. The poet has realistically described the nature of a spider with detailed documentation. The spider is representative of all the impostors who patiently wait to beguile the inexperienced young individuals. The spider is a prototype of contemporary cunning individuals who, by exercising the power and control over the innocent people, use them for their own benefits and in turn victimize them using their wicked means. The spider thinks about the own profit here. With a complacent air, the fly comes out and sings the song addressing the fly. He praises her pearl and silver colored wings, green and purple robes, and magnificent crest upon her head. He blandly exposes his flaw by criticizing his dull lead eyes and appreciating her dazzlingly bright eyes. All these tempting words attract the unintelligent and witless fly at last. Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, hearing his wily flattering words, comes slowly flitting by. With buzzing wings she hung aloft, then near and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of the crested head. Poor foolish thing, at last up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her up his winding stair into his dismal den within his little parlour, but she never came out again. So, here we will see this is the triumphant moment for the spider. After being delayed and postponed consistently, the spider gets his prey too close to him. He exposes his evil thoughts and he finally succeeds in alluring the fly. The fly, despite initial reluctance and hesitations, finally succumbs to the flurry of temptation. She comes slowly with a continuous buzzing noise. She is blinded by the enticing words spoken by the spider about her youthful beauty. She only thinks of her brilliant eyes, green and purple robes, and crested head. The poet pities her poor, miserable plight here. Finally, the spider jumps on her with all his might and holds her first, dragging her helplessly into the valley of death in his den. And now, dear little children, who may the story read? To idle, silly, flattering words I pray you never give heed unto an evil counselor close heart and ear and eye, and take a lesson from this tale of the spider and the fly. The last stanza ends with a moral lesson. The poet or the narrator addresses the beloved children who have little understanding of the complexities of the real world and cautions them against paying attention to the pretentious individuals who claim to be genuine and wise. They can use ample means to entice the innocent victims into their pattern of the intricate web. They must not yield to the ostentatious flattery of others. There are many sly men represented by the spider here, roaming around in every nook and corner, waiting to pounce upon the unintelligible, witless men and entrap them to suffice their own needs. The fly is not rational enough to distinguish between flattery, triggered by the spider's temptation to eat her, and genuine praise and appreciation. Hence, she meets with a tragic death at the end of the poem. Here ends the poem with a beautiful moral delivered to all the readers. Hopefully, you enjoyed the poem. If you have any query, any doubt, do write in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening.